I don't care whether it's snowing, and I don't care about the rain.
Hey, everybody. I want to radio show right here in the house at Errol built, the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeart radio station with over 70 shows, 70 to 150 hosts and co-hosts, streaming 24/7 on your smart device with internet access. Hit live. Sorry about that. You know I make mistakes. Hit it again. Hit it again.
I'm coming home to Chicago, coming on that Amtrak train. I'm coming home to Chicago.
Hey. I want to welcome you to Rhythm Flow Radio on the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeart radio station with over 70 shows, 70 to 150 hosts and co-hosts, streaming 24/7 on your smart device with internet access. Hey, this is the house that Earl built, and did he build a house? You know, he built this house so everybody could have their own voice. And my name is Katie Lowe. I want you to know that I am fat and fabulous. I'm big and bodacious. I'm plump and pretty. I'm cute and I'm getting curvy. But most of all, I'm confident. I am the boss lady of Rhythm Flow Radio, your host, Katie Lowe. Hey, we got a great show lined up for you today. Y'all know I like the blues. Everybody know that I like music. You know that I can't dance, but I can wear a seat out. Ooh, just sitting in it. I can work so good in a seat, I swear I could squirm a hole in it. One time I was sitting in a leather seat, and when I got up, it wasn't nothing but padding. And listen, oh, I forgot I had a guest in here, didn't I? You know, boy, when I get to run in my mouth, it's like I done had a drink, and this ain't nothing but a bottle of water. I thought it was tequila. But sitting to my left, you know, they usually sit to my right. But when you got a man in the house, you're the man to your right. So the woman can sit. Now you sit the man to your left, so the woman can sit to his right. But I'm going to let him introduce himself because guess what? He knows himself better than I do. Introduce yourself, please.
I am Donald Kincaid, better known as the irresistible truth of the South. Been in Chicago quite a while. I actually grew up in Chicago and then moved south. We used to live in the South Side. I am the terror of several streets. My name's cut in the sidewalk down there if you look long enough.
Now, wait a minute. Is that on the South Side?
On the South Side.
Where your name is cut in the street?
Drexel and Cottage Grove.
Is that right?
I'm actually in the park and some trees over there. So yeah.
Now, were you born on the South Side?
No, I was born down south. My grandparents moved me up north, and then we moved back down south.
Oh, okay.
So I actually am transient. That's a good word.
All right.
And what I wind up doing is coming up here from the South, actually, after growing up and going to college there and working down there for quite a number of years. I came up here to relax and retire.
Oh, okay. Listen, we're going to get off into Don Kincaid's story. Listen, you know, we're going to get up close and personal. We're going to find out if he is the real Don Kincaid. We're going to find out if he is the real educator. We're going to find out if he's the real music man. We're going to find out about his roots. We're going to find out. He say he know about Mississippi. And if you know about Mississippi, I'm going to take his boots off and see if he got any red dirt between his toes. But before we do that, listen, why don't we're going to get entertained by a Donald Kincaid original. Uh-oh, watch
You know,
out
when
now.
we come to Memphis, we have
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up and just enjoy this music, and we'll be back with some hot topic.
took us a long time to get here, but we've been ready for a long time too. On the way up 3rd Street, I knew we were coming to Bill Street. There are a lot of special things that go on Bill Street. So you know how we have to be ready to come to Memphis and do the Bill Street groove. So we hope you're ready for us, because we're certainly ready for you. Come on, here. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the band. On bass guitar, Mr. Teddy Hughes. On drums, Robbie Browning. I know you like that. See on that funky lead guitar, Randy Edwards. My name is Kincaid. And the name of the
All
band
right. I want to welcome you back to Rhythm Flow Radio on IntellectualRadio.com and our hard radio station. Hey, you know I got some hot topics. You know I got some things I got to get off my chest. And one of the things is, Sunday, I think everybody took Sunday very, very hard. And I was, I'm just trying to think that I was sitting there in my house and I had company and we all were cooking and laughing, watching TV and just enjoying Sunday. And I started getting text messages. I started getting links because everybody know that I have pages that I work on the internet and I post for other pages and other websites. And I started getting these links where they say post this and post that. And I say, oh, that couldn't be real. So I started checking it. And then I found that it's true that we had lost a legend, Kobe Bryant. I mean, that was a hard pill to swallow.
Right.
And then especially when they say that he had died in a helicopter, and that was just tragic. I just didn't know how to dissect that. So then I get this text from none other than Tracy Kincaid that Kobe Bryant had died. And she wanted it to be an internet hoax, but it wasn't. And so we text each other back for a minute or two. And I had already tried to get her to give me your CDs. And she wouldn't, but I finally got them. And then I finally got you here. But what I want to say is, what do you think about Kobe's death?
I think it's a tragedy, not only because of the loss of a legendary basketball player, but for what he represented to the young people. Most of the time, when we see our young people in the news now, it's negative and emasculating as far as black males are concerned. And Kobe transcended that, even though they took him through the ringer. They take all of us through. All entertainers go through some kind of test to see what we made out of. And they took him through that ringer, accused him of a whole lot of things that he was acquitted of, and there's still people right now who wanna bring that up. But let me say that too. Let me say this to them, because I'm grown now and I don't owe nobody now.
I know that's right.
We don't owe not nobody at all. We black males are validated just by being such in a system that as it exists in this country anyway. We have to survive every day and go about our business and excel in everything that we do better than other people do it in order to be legitimate in the first place. Kobe made his mark, and therefore, whatever people have to say about him and his death, they probably need to let it go.
Well, let me say this. Within the last, I should say, 36 hours, there have been a lot of tweets and a lot of dumb things that have been said. But one of the things that really pissed and I had to say it like that, me off, is that they keep bringing up what happened in 2000, I believe in 3.
Yeah.
Okay? I want to say this in defense of Kobe Bryant. You need to leave that alone. I can't say what I want to say, but you need to leave that alone. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone myself. In 2003, when that 19-year-old heifer, because that's what she was, excuse me, she was working at a spa. I believe it was somewhere in Colorado or Denver, one of them.
Yeah.
What happened? She changed her date, her work date. She knew Kobe was going to be in the hotel. So she switched her date to work so that she could be there. He was there at 19 years old thinking like this. Wicked. 19. And I'm not ashamed to say she wasn't black. She was white. So she already was thinking wicked at 19. Kobe was there because he had a doctor's appointment. I think he was going to have some surgery. Now, she made her way to get her schedule changed so she could be there. And she made her way to that hotel room. And I still say this, and Me Too, that Me Too movement can get mad at me if you want to. If you are, ladies, if a man invites you to the hotel room, he is not inviting you there to watch cable. Believe me, he's not. You are not going there to watch cable TV and play bid whist. You're going there to be cable TV. You're going to be the bid whist. It's going to be a 5-no Trump ran on you. And that's what you're going there for. You don't go to a man's hotel room like that. You already know what he's bringing you there for. And then why would you go and invite yourself to a man's hotel room? Just don't do that. It's not rape anymore. If you make your way there, you're going there for something. And let's be honest, you know what you're going there for. It's a difference between going there because you want sex and then turn around and saying somebody raped you. Everybody knows what rape is really about. That is something very devious and ugly. But for her to say Kobe raped her was wrong. And then the ugly part was about it. When they took her DNA, there was other male DNA there. So that tells you how nasty she was. She was nasty. So he didn't rape her, and that case was thrown out of court. So quit, when you tweet that he was a great athlete, but he was a rapist, you are so wrong. And especially to do it at a time like that.
I agree because one thing my mother taught us when we were growing up is that you don't speak ill of the dead.
I'm telling you.
And so when he's not here to defend himself,
That's right.
so the ones of us who are left living have to be the ones who are going to speak for him and try to uphold his character. And you also have to remember his wife and 3 of his children are still here living, having to get over what we're grieving miles and miles away from them. Their family has to digest the fact that they're not going to see their people anymore. And so while it's hurting up there, it hurt me. When she came down the hall the other day and told me about it, I'm not a reactionary. I just sit there and absorb it and kind of try to digest it. And because when I start screaming and lose my cool, I really go real raw.
And the real Don Kincaid?
The real. And so and that means when I'm hurting about something, I hurt. And when I'm angry about something, I'm angry. But when I hurt about something, dealing with our people, I hurt so deeply because I go way back into the historical part where we have struggled so hard to get to this point and still struggling. So, that gets to be a bit difficult for me to try to deal with. But anyway, when I heard about it, I wanted to be asleep and wake up, and it was a bad dream. Actually, that's what I felt like. And that's what I tweeted, that, I hope when I wake up, this is a nightmare, and I get me a drink of water and go back to sleep. Mm-hmm. But, when it comes down to them saying things about him, please consider his family. That's all I need to say today.
Yeah. But, it was, somebody, people lost their job. And the ugly part about it, they were all women. There was not one man. There were 3 women.
Yeah.
That all said negative things. And I don't think that I'm a racist. Every last one of them are white.
Yeah, most of the adamant.
There was not one African American sister that said it.
Most of the people who are most adamant are the ones who cannot benefit. I'll use that word. Who cannot profit or benefit from your prosperity. And I'll just put it like that, mm-hmm. because in a lot of cases when we were out on the road, a lot of the agents, I had to let them know, okay, don't send no girl to my room. First of all, I don't know who she is. I don't trust her. And, I'm not going to pull my clothes off in the room with her and leave my wallet exposed because I'm real particular about my money. Mm-hmm. I can get another girl tomorrow, but I can't get my money back. So it used to be my philosophy with that. But, and I'm quite sure with people who travel like Kobe and they were young guys. He was young when he got into the league. And there are going to be some times you make mistakes and you're with people. But the line between consensual sex and rape, it's just a very well-defined line.
It is.
And so when people take it and blur it up, they can make it look like anything they want to. And so, like I said, I was trying to be mild about it a few minutes ago. I said, those who want to tweet, especially on my pages, mm-hmm. They can tweet. That's their business with anybody else. But the president can tweet it to somebody else, but he's more likely to get cussed out on my page because they don't owe him nothing. Mm-hmm. We don't owe him.
Absolutely.
We don't owe him. We don't owe people our personal dignity and individual dignity that we have earned. We don't owe anybody that.
I just thought it was just cold blooded for them to say things like that. And I'm gonna get off this subject, but we all know who the real rapists
Absolutely.
are. All
Absolutely.
we got to do is look back in Black history.
That's true.
Okay,
That's
and
right.
I'm through with that. We're gonna listen to another cut by Don Kincaid, and then we're gonna find out who this real Don Kincaid is, and I'm gonna
Oh,
find that
yeah.
Mississippi dirt.
Held out in my eyes. She says hi. Stumbled to the breakfast table. Kids gone off to school. Goodbye. She reaches out and takes my hand and squeezes it. Says, how you feeling down? And I look across the smiling lips, warm my heart, and I see my morning sun. And if that's not loving me, then all I gotta say, oh, gone in the night, blue green apple, getting on man, in the apples in the summertime. No such thing as Dr. Seuss in the land, Mother Goose, no nursery rhyme. God, you make little green apples, it don't rain, in apples in no time. No such thing as Dr. Seuss, Disneyland, and Mother Goose, and no nursery rhyme. Sometimes I call up, knowing she's busy. Ask her if she could get away, meet me and grab a bite to eat. Oh, she dropped what she's doing, hurry down to meet me, and I'm always late. She be waiting patiently, smiles when she first sees me. She made it rain. And if there's not loving me, then all I got to say, oh, garden neck, little green apple, it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. There's no such thing as Dr. Seuss, Disneyland, Mother Goose, there's no nursery rhyme. God did make little green apples, it don't snow in Minneapolis in the wintertime. And when myself is feeling low, I think about her face aglow. It eases my mind. God did make little green apples, it don't rain in Minneapolis in the summertime. No such thing.
All right, I want to welcome you back to Rhythm Flow Radio on the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, and iHeart Radio Station. I want to remind everybody today's show is brought to you by Singleton's Education Academy. Singleton's Education Academy, they're teaching courses in life support because life is why. Hey, they're teaching classes like cardiac life support, basic life support, and CPR for professionals and non healthcare professionals. Advanced life support, PALS, neonatal resuscitation. They also provide CNA recertification. Call my friend Ruthie Singleton at 773 475 7054. Again, that number is 773 475 7054. Make your appointment today. Life is why. Save a life. Oh, I just want to say that Michelle Obama won her first Grammy. How about that? So that's something to be, women uplifting women. I just think that's just so nice that she won that. And then I always like to uplift women. I think it's a positive thing to do. But I will cut you up because that's what Katie Lowe does. I mean, I will uplift you, but when you're wrong, sister, whether your skin is black, white, green, purple, orange, when you're wrong, you're just wrong. Now, let's talk about what we came here for today. We came here to talk about the real Donald Kincaid. So, Mr. Kincaid, I'm going to do you like somebody do me. Okay, Donald, where were you born?
I was really born in Mississippi,
What part?
a place called Bruce, Mississippi.
Bruce, Mississippi.
Small sawmill town.
Is that somewhere? Is that one of those towns like what's that town where you can blink your eye? I think it's called Tupelo.
Tupelo.
Is Bruce like
Bruce
Tupelo?
is way smaller than Tupelo.
Well, see, I think Tupelo was small. I remember the first time the girl say, we're reaching Tupelo,"
Mhm.
and she said, "I'm gonna show it to you." I said, "Where is it?" She said, "You just missed it."
Yeah, Tupelo's famous because that's where Elvis Presley was born.
Right.
But Bruce, Mississippi is a North Mississippi town that's basically sawmill, agricultural environment. Still that way now. I was born in Bruce. We migrated to a place called Grenada, which is about 45 miles south of that. Actually, where a lot of my relatives were from, where there's a place called the Kincaid Plantation.
Wait a minute. Did you say Kincaid Plantation?
Plantation? Yeah, that's where my great grandparents and all are from. That's where we got our name from, from the
Now,
Kincaid.
is that plantation still there today?
No,
Oh.
it actually was bought out by the federal government, and they put a dam there, so it's underwater right now.
Okay.
But every time my people come home for a family reunion, we go out there and we go across the bridge and point to where we used to come from or whatever. But it's a nice place. As far as that concerned, and I always claim Chicago because my grandparents, my mother's parents, my father's parents are the ones who are from Kincaid, of course, but my mother's parents are from up here, and so I always claim South Side of Chicago because they were the most instrumental people in making sure that I was well educated, that I learned not just the 3 R's, but how to take the 3 R's and make money with them. So,
Okay, were you educated in Mississippi or were you educated in Chicago?
For the most part, I was educated in high school there. I went to college at a place called Mississippi Valley State University.
You went to Mississippi Valley?
Yes.
All right.
And I left there and then went to the Midwest. Went to Kansas State University. I spent some time at a lot of different schools. So we won't get into the school thing on this program. Because it's a long journey. It's a very interesting journey though, because it gave me an opportunity to do something that a whole lot of artists, as I spoke with you on the phone about, a lot of the blues artists were taken advantage of because they couldn't make their own contracts. And when they were picked up and recorded by all of the people who own the studios, they never owned any rights to their own music. But that's different now because those of us who know how to write and read and negotiate our own contract deals and stuff. Have become independent.
So what did you study in college?
Social statistics.
So you know how to write your own contract?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
And of course, we're always challenged to become greater, and I don't mean just great. So when I put the ER on the end, we have to be greater.
Mm-hmm.
If we're in a race, we have to run faster.
Mm-hmm.
If we are in a high jump contest, we have to jump higher. And I've always been not afraid of raising up and saying, okay, I'm gonna try. I may not get over the fence higher than everybody, but I'm not gonna be the last one on the other side.
Now I want to ask you this. Okay, so you raised up in Mississippi, you go to school, you go to college, you get a good education, you teach.
Yeah.
So what got you into the blues and writing all this good music?
I started out playing gospel music with a group called the Southern Airs.
You said that's a religious.
Right. And so in doing that religious transformation, I actually wound up playing for a lot of people. Every Sunday we were off on the road, going somewhere playing. And I came home one weekend, and I was always playing for somebody else that didn't guitar player. That's why I play so many different instruments.
Wait. You played. Wait a minute. Let me back this up. So you went. Wait a minute, because I didn't find out how you learned to play the instrument. You see, I know you went to school. You learned more than the 3 hours. I know you went to college. I know you taught.
Mm-hmm.
So where did we pick up the guitar? Where did we learn that? Did we go to music? Did we take music in college or in high school?
No.
Where did you pick that up?
I picked up playing when I was very young. After my mother transitioned, I was one of those people who, like I said, I'm not an extrovert when it comes down to my emotions. So I went into a shell and started just going home and picking up the guitar and playing. Wasn't formally taught at first because I sat around and I learned how to tune guitars and restring them and do all of that at home. But as it gradually grew on me, it's not. And then let me say that too. It's not something that I can tell you that I learned. I learned how to tune the guitar and how to sit down and play some chords.
Now you learn how to tune. How you gonna tune the guitar if you don't know how to play?
By hearing somebody else tune it. Yes, that's what you learn from.
Oh, okay.
And so anyway, I really didn't become. They say I'm a virtuoso, but I don't know what that is. I really didn't become as proficient as I am at playing, because right now, if you play something, I can play it. All I have to do is just hear it, and I can play it in its entirety. So that's a gift.
Okay.
And so I don't give anyone credit for that but God, because I was really pissed with him about my mom. And really, honestly.
Why?
Because he didn't explain to me. I mean, I was going to church and doing everything I was supposed to do, and there on the Monday and the Tuesday, and on the prayer meeting on Wednesday, and with the choir on Thursday, and everything else on Friday and Saturday at the church, doing what I was supposed to do, and not yielding to temptation, and the girls wanting to play. I wasn't doing none of that, and so I didn't understand. I heard the preacher say, "Well, if you good and you do what God say do, He'll give you the desires of your heart." Unfortunately, I happened to be the person on one Saturday morning. I used to go in my mom's bedroom all the time and watch Superman. I still do it, man. But well, I admit that. But I sat on her bed that Saturday morning, and she wasn't breathing. Well, my initial desire was, okay, she's gonna wake up, so I'm going over here and get when I come back, she's gonna be up. That's what I told God, but it didn't happen that way. So yeah, that's why I got pissed with him, because he didn't answer that prayer. Never one. The only one I asked her for. I asked for no new cars or jet planes or nothing.
Just wanted her.
That's right. And so throughout my life, I had to take that emotion, fit it into something. So music became something I became passionate about. And one Saturday morning, I had gotten grown. I was sitting in the park because I used to have these lambasting crying sessions. I would go out to myself and do that. So I was in the park. My grandmother had passed. I just got noticed that she was gone, and I had to figure out how I was going to get home to the funeral and all that. And I went in the park and sit down. I had been playing now. I'd been playing music and recording and whatever, but I was playing what I heard. Some other people.
So you played by rote? Is that what they call
by
it?
ear.
Yeah, by ear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but that particular Saturday, I was out there and I asked God, why am I, what's happening with me? What am I doing? Here I am getting ready to go to another funeral, and you took my mama, and God he don't really talk to you like that. He don't come right back and say, okay, fool, he ain't like us. But anyway, his answer to me was to give me the gift that I had. I went to bed that Saturday night, that Sunday morning. I woke up like a plate, perfect pitch.
What?
Yeah. And so I don't claim credit for that. And I know that's probably another story, another day to make come.
Okay.
But so when you ask me, how I learned how to do whatever, I have played with a lot of professional artists.
Like who?
I played with Benson. I played with Willie Clayton. I told you about.
Willie Clayton. I remember when Willie Clayton used to look like he weighed 100 pounds soaking wet. Used to Tyrone Davis on Mr. Lee's over on Madison Street.
Yeah.
Now they started out on Chicago Avenue, and then they moved to Madison Street until somebody went in there and moved the beam, and the whole building fell in.
Yeah, I played gospel music with the Pilgrim Jubilees.
Oh, really?
And Clay Graham and all that. I actually played on stage with quite a few different people. I mean, once you get back into my pictures, you'll see that I played with a lot of the professional artists up here. A lot of the artists that are playing now, Jimmy Barnes and Lindsay Alexander, John Primer. So, when you're out there playing, you get a chance to play with everybody. So I've been fortunate enough to play with quite a few people. It's not how you play. It's how well you listen. Because if you want somebody to hear you, you got to be able to hear them.
Oh, I love that saying. I guess that's why sometimes you can listen to a band and it sounds like somebody's just playing. Too loud?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's that person that's trying to be heard. So if you're really good enough to be heard, you're going to be heard anyway. I never played with anybody that at the end of playing, you couldn't distinguish my playing with them.
Okay, now you play string instruments?
I play string instruments, play a little keyboard, play drums.
You play drums too?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
wait a minute, all of these were gifts from God?
Of course they are. The drum gift, you have the drum gift. She has the drum gift. Everybody in the studio got the gift of rhythm.
They do?
Yeah, you just have to tap into that gift. There's a lot of people. What has happened over the years is that, I don't want to use the racial distinction, but
go ahead and use it. This is intellectual radio. You can say what you want to say, as long as you don't curse. Because they will put us out. Listen, not only will they put us out, they will throw us out.
Some people think that they can acquire that rhythmic thing that we're born with.
Oh.
And see, you can tap into something that you already have on the inside of you by releasing it, but you can't release something that's not in you. Mm-hmm. And so therein lies the difference between some of the stuff that you're going to hear on my album. I have a guy named Randy And Randy is a excuse me, he's a very well trained, actually music major. He went to Juilliard.
Oh.
And
Is he on this?
yeah, he's playing guitar along with me. But you can tell the difference between our styles of playing. He plays that rockish sound guitar, and that's why I call it a project. I call it a project because I gave them the opportunity to learn how to feel the blues. So I took two white guys who didn't know and pulled them into a situation because one could play drums real well and the other one could play guitar real well.
Okay.
But neither one of them had the blues. Because
When
they never
you got through with
they
tapped into it.
yeah, of course. Well, you can listen and see.
Okay, listen. Why don't we listen to Southside Groove? Now that's a bad song. That's the song. You might be going on a trip when you hear it. I know I did. I played it all the way here. I've been playing it ever since I got it. I even invited my neighbors to listen. Turn it up, DJ. I thought I was in the juke joint.
I'm coming home to Chicago, coming on that Amtrak train. I'm coming home to Chicago, I'll be on that Amtrak train. I don't care whether it's snowing, and I don't care about the rain. I'm coming home, wanna see you real soon. I'll be there by 9 o'clock, maybe even by noon. I'm coming down so I can get in the Shack-town groove on the south side. Before you can even think about me. And when I get off at Union Station, you're looking for you. Coming home to the south side, so I can do the south side too. Yeah. I'm coming home to Chicago, coming on that Amtrak train. Sometimes people call it the city of New Orleans. Coming home to Chicago, gonna get in the Southside groove. Can we play a little bit, y'all? You know that your man's coming home. You can tell all your friends that you'll never be alone. I've been a fool, but now I'm coming home with a Southside crew. I'm coming to West Adams, and I wanna see you when I get there. I wanna be there. I'm coming home to Chicago. It's this outside crew. I'll be there in a minute. Call you on my cellular phone. I'll be there in a minute. Call you on my cellular phone. I want to promise you one thing, that you'll never be alone. I want to promise you one thing, that you'll never be alone.
Yeah. Woo. Now you know that's the blues. I done been all the way to 95th Street. I done been on the Amtrak train. I done been down by Union Station and all the way over there on 2 West Airport. And now I'm sitting up in Intellectual Radio and iHeart Radio Station, better known as the house that Earl built. You know, I done traveled.
That's right.
Sitting next to the real Donald Kincaid. Now, is that a song that you wrote?
Yes, I was on the way to the studio, and we'd already started some tracks, and I got Tracy on the phone. I said, T, what's the South Side? What the South Side sound like? She's always musically inclined or whatever, and used to have me jumping over the rail at the stadium with the band and all this stuff, trying to see if I could make sure she got down to the ground. And so anyway, she played, believe it or not, the bass line that you hear in that song. She said that on the phone to me. What about do 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 do? I said, oh, okay. I think we'll do something with that. And I was en route to the studio then. Mm-hmm. And so on the way there, I had all my guys in the van with me, and I said, look, what can we do with that? Do 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 do. Because I heard it on the phone and played back to them with my mouth. And so we got in the studio, and that night we recorded that track. No rehearsal. So what you're hearing is raw.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. See, I have a vivid imagination, and I'm a great storyteller. I am. Okay. Really a great storyteller. So when I was listening to this song, when I put it in and I was listening, I said, this song ain't none of my business. But this sound like this man is coming home to his wife. I'm serious.
Right.
And he sound like he come in on 57. That's how sound like he driving. He don't sound like he coming in on train. He sound like he driving. And he tell him, coming home. And I don't want you to have nobody there. Now, there's another song in there. Now, I may be wrong, but that's the way my imagination. Right. I thought you wrote that song for your wife. Really, I did.
Of course I did.
And I thought you was telling her that you was coming home tonight.
Mm-hmm. And
how you was going to get there. But there's another song. It's called, is it Talking Up My Minutes?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if they can find this one. Talking Up My Minutes. I'm going to let them play that. And that's another song. I got a vivid imagination. Because the blues is a song, it's storytellers, right? I want y'all to listen to this song. This is the real Donald Kincaid.
What's up with this talking you always doing with your friends? I can't even get through when I call home. talking a minute without me being in it. Why can't we just mind our own and leave other folks' business alone? Everybody's busy minding somebody else's business. No one's at home taking care of their own. While you're busy minding someone else's business, you better make sure you know what's happening in your own home. We can't stay in touch or even talk our conversation out without some of your friends. Some of them beeping in. Everybody's busy minding somebody else's business. Girl, why you minding business? Telling lies on other folks and making jokes. Taking up our quality time with phone calls that really mean nothing at all. Well, everybody's busy minding somebody else's business. No one's at home taking care of their own. You know what's happening in your own home. Sure, you're out trying to do somebody else's duty. Are you trying to make plans to give up some of my costume? That's the word. Everybody's busy minding somebody else's business. No one's at home taking care of their own. While you're busy minding someone else's business, you better make sure you know what that.
And sitting to my left, it's none other than, you better say your name.
Donald Kincaid.
Okay, Donald Kincaid. Now, we was talking about the blues being a story. And I think you have to be an avid storyteller, a great storyteller, to sing the blues. I mean, to write the blues.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a true story, but most people say when they listen to the blues, they think that the blues is an experience that somebody may have had.
It is.
Or somebody know about an experience that somebody else has had. And then they write about it. So so when you write, what method do you use to write your blues songs?
You just say the way you lived. I know you're familiar with B.B. King.
Yes, I am.
He had a song called I Like to Live the Life That I Sing About in my songs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the blues is, because in its original state, the blues was a second language for our people. That's how we communicated with each other in the South. White people had a language of their own. When they say we're gonna see y'all later, we'll do this and we'll do. Mm-hmm. Black people had a blues language, where rhythmic language, when they could be singing something bad about a white person they hated in front of them, and they wouldn't even know it.
And they would know.
No.
Okay.
And so that's what the blues is all about. It originated from that state of mind, because that's why back in the days of slavery days, they didn't want you saying stuff to each other, or even holding your head up, looking at each other straight in the eyes and stuff like that. It was forbidden. And so the blues became an offshoot from that. People could sing about what they what they were thinking about. And so they didn't only sing it there, they would sing it at church and then take those church songs and transform them into blues songs. And if you go back and listen at them, that's how it is. The unfortunate thing about now, though, is there's a confusion out there in the linguistic transfer, because we don't know what the young kids have on their minds now, other than something that's derogatory. The blues back in the day was me seeing you sitting down looking pretty, and telling you that without telling you that.
Because you were singing the blues.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. Okay. Back then, well, in the day when they were playing the blues,
Yeah.
back then, they had what they call the chitlin circuit.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
Chitlin Circuit was those poor places that people went to on the weekends when they really didn't have a lot of money. They just had enough money to buy drinks and some food. So you went and you played there and was in hopes that they had enough money to give you expense money for getting there and back. And so you didn't have anywhere to stay.
Oh.
Couldn't stay in any hotels or in places like that. You couldn't go in the front door of any of the upstanding places that sold food.
They would let you play there, but they
would not. They would not let you. They wouldn't let you eat there.
No.
But you could play music. If they had a party or something like it, because that was the way. That was the way they did it. The people who were Lead Belly and all of the people, Robert Johnson, all of the players, all the blues of Mississippi John Hurt, all of those people grew up playing on the front porches or the juke joints and the Chitlin Circuit, because you were not going to be invited to the governor's mansion to play unless somebody bragged on you and said, look, old Tom's boy over there, that boy played good, that guitar, I want to get him down here. And then they'll bring you down for something they're having. And of course, that didn't make you separate from anybody, make you an exceptional player. It was just that they were going to draw a crowd and make money out of you playing, and you weren't going to get paid.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's ugly.
Well, of course, that was the way the art was handled back in the day, and that's why I said it was important to get up and get an education to the point where you can handle your own financial affairs. Because if people told you, we're going to give you 60-40 on the door, for instance, meaning you don't know what 60-40 is because you can't count well or you can't read, then you're going to get cheated out of your money. And then you got people to pay or whatever you had along with you. Fortunately, back then, making $3 a day was a lot of money. But, it gets kind of old after a while when you see people driving these big old cars and stuff, and they're the one taking up the money, and you leaving, thumbing the ride.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay, where are some of the places that you played here in Chicago?
Kingston Mine, Legends down at Buddy Guy's place.
Buddy Guy's, okay.
Yeah. What's that place over on Clark? I can't think of the name of it.
Blues, etc.
Yeah.
Blues on Halstead?
Yes, Blues Chicago.
Blues Chicago.
Quite a few places in Chicago that I've been fortunate enough to play. Chicago is such a rich place because individuals used to leave the South and come up here knowing that they could get paid. That's what made Chicago different. You could go to St. Louis and play, you could go to some other place, go to Memphis and play, but there was no guarantee that you were going to get paid, but you were worth. Chicago, being the industrial city that it was, people didn't care, black nor white, about giving money. Like right now, if I get a chance to get up to go back out again, I'm not worried about making any money, enough money to be satisfied. if I go back down home, as popular as my name is there, I still have to worry about somebody there trying to scheme their way in fooling me into playing for them so they can make the money and pay me what they want me to have. So I have to send an agent ahead of me. I talked to somebody the other day. I said, well, I'll come. Well, when you coming home? We want to have the mayor, and the mayor wants to see. Oh, fine. Well, I want to see all you guys as well. But I have a very serious affinity for not being broke. So I got a rash when I ain't got no money. And so, but I think we have to all start doing that for each other. We have to all do what we're doing tonight, coming to support the program that you're putting forth, because intellectualism is what's gonna make us spring forward and get what we're supposed to have.
Absolutely.
And we won't have to ever accept second best for nobody or what somebody has left over. We can be the ones they hold stake to and decide what piece we want to let somebody else have.
I know.
And so, I have a very serious desire to just reach out and hug people like you when I first meet. And I started to do that tonight, but I want to hold that till next time. And because you may not be able. I'm real strong, but anyway, seriously.
He's calling me a weakling now. You just don't know. Ain't nothing weak about me. I might have arthritis, but ain't nothing weak about me. I can bench press 3 pounds.
And what I really mean is to intellectually embrace you as well. Because there's a very serious degree of respect that I have for people who are putting forth the idea that we are more than people have given us credit for being in history. And so that's the only thing that's going to make history for us, writing.
And we as a race of Black people, we have to believe. I'm serious. We have to believe in ourselves.
That's right.
We've always been told, even some of us by our parents, you'll never amount to anything. You're not going to be, but you have to believe beyond that. And until we start believing in that, we're always going to have a problem. We have to see further than that. We have to come out of that shell, look outside of that box, and we have to see our own greatness. If you ain't great, you better think you're great. And some great things will happen. We just don't do that.
That's right.
Okay. Is it not heavy? Okay. All right, listen. We're going to play that one last song. Look, I'm going to thank everybody for tuning in. He will be back. This is the real Don Kincaid. Okay, Earl. I called your name. I love the blues, baby. Hey. I can rock the house.
I'm coming home to Chicago, coming on that Amtrak train. I'm coming home to Chicago, I'll be on that Amtrak train. I don't care whether it's snowing, and I don't care about the rain. I'm coming home, wanna see you real soon. I'll be there by 9 o'clock, maybe even by noon. I'm coming down so I can get in the town groove on the south side. before you can even think about me. And when I get off at Union Station, I'm gonna be looking for you. Coming home to the south side, so I can the south side groove, yeah. I'm coming home to Chicago, coming on that Amtrak train. Sometimes people call it the city of New Orleans. Coming home to Chicago, gonna get in the south side groove. Can we play a little bit, y'all? You can tell everybody you know that your man's coming home. You can tell all your friends that you'll never be alone. I've been a fool, but now I'm coming home with a Southside crew. I'm coming to West Adams, and I wanna see you when I get there. I'm coming down by United Center. I wanna be there. I'm coming home to Chicago, to the Southside crew.
Radio station in the world. IntellectualRadio.com. Feed your brain.
I'll be there in a minute. Call you on my